What is going on, guys? The Inside the Blue Podcast, episode 66. And today, breaking down the Juan Soto rumors and the Alex Verdugo trade, and also a little bit of Yoshinobu Yamamoto, those rumors as well. Going to break it down all today on the Inside the Blue Podcast. Of course, this is really exciting as a Yankee fan. And, talking about them in general, this offseason was a big one for this team. We didn't know what we were going to do. The fans didn't exactly know what to expect, honestly. Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner said they were going to be very active, and right now they're proving that as well as they're trying to acquire a superstar in Juan Soto. It looks like the deal is pretty much done, and it looks like we're just waiting on medical tests and medical records, stuff like that, to make sure the trade goes through. But still, Juan Soto is basically a Yankee now, and I talked about it in the previous pod. What would it mean if the Yankees got a guy, like Juan Soto? And this is a huge boost to the lineup. This is just amazing for this team. And, he was a guy in this free agency and that I really wanted. I know he's not a free agent and you had to trade for him, but he's a guy. He's got 1 year left on his deal before he's going to get a mega contract. With the Yankees. I firmly believe he is going to re-sign with the Yankees. I think he's super excited to be a Yankee. And, I think both parties got, good value. But we'll break down the trade more later. We're just going to talk about basically just Juan Soto. And, this is a guy, when I first heard the rumors, I didn't know really how things were going to progress. I thought the Padres going to ask for too much, and I had a feeling that Michael King was going to go to the Padres because I feel like when I see the Padres and what they need, it's pitching. This team, they had Blake Snell last year, who had a really good year. He won the Cy Young, of course, and now he's won the Cy Young in both the NL and the AL. But regardless, Blake Snell was a really good pitcher, but now he's gone. So you look at the rotation now. It's kind of weak. They need pitching, and they need pitching depth as well. And the Yankees provided that, right? They gave him some pitchers, but Juan Soto, man, this guy, he's an amazing talent. I think he's a future Hall of Famer. I think he's really the big, he's the real deal. I think this guy is going to make an immediate impact. I don't think New York is going to affect him because he's played well against the New York Yankees. He has done an amazing job, and he's only 25. That's, like I said in the previous Yankee pod, it's insane to me that he's only 25, and you're getting him for, I think, a pretty good price, in my opinion. I know you're giving up, pitching depth and giving up one of your best bullpen arms in Michael King. But if this is what it's going to take to get a guy like Juan Soto, you have to press the green button. You have to. This is a guy that I think is built for New York. I think he's got all the tools to be a successful player at the Bronx. I think you could plug him right in the lineup, whether it's behind Judge or in front of Judge. Either way, those two are going to be an amazing 1-2 punch for years to come. Because I firmly believe, when this trade is finalized and the medical tests go through and all that, and we officially get, the official trade that, both teams have accepted, and Juan Soto is heading to New York and all that, I think he's going to get a mega deal. I think he's going to get at least, 8 to 10 years, and it helps the Yankees significantly because, hey, this guy could be a really good player for a long time, and he's been compared to Ted Williams. He's been compared to a lot of really good baseball players, and to pair him with Aaron Judge, I mean, that might be the best 1-2 punch in this league, in a lineup. I can't really think of another one, really that comes to mind. I know the Dodgers, have Mookie Betts and, Freddie Freeman. I think that's up there as well. That might be those two teams might have the best 1-2 punch in the league. And, they don't play each other, very often. So the Yankees won't have to worry about the Dodgers unless, the Yankees make it to the World Series. And Speaking of World Series, I think Juan Soto bolsters their chances even more. I know the Yankees are always a contender and they're always making the postseason, and that's great and all, but they haven't been able to get over the ALCS hump. And I think it's I still think the Yankees are a good team, and now they got better. I think last year injuries got to them again, and that's been a problem. And that's the real problem with this team is they can never get healthy seasons out of Stanton, out of a lot of players. You could even argue Anthony Rizzo as well. You could say DJ LeMahieu. A lot of these guys have not been able to stay healthy, and it's had a lot of setbacks. When it came to the postseason, they were missing DJ LeMahieu that year, who they were missing a lot of guys. And that's a problem for this team. Health has been a problem, and it's been one of the main topics about this team is going into the season. Are we going to get a healthy Rizzo? Are we going to get a healthy LeMahieu? Are we going to get a healthy Judge, a healthy Stanton? Stanton, I think, is the one you really point out because, he's making a lot of money. He's making $32 million to be on the IL. And yes, I'm getting on Stanton because he needs to have a good year. And he's playing the DH spot, so it's not even like he's playing the outfield a lot. He's playing designated hitter, and he's only hitting. And he is somehow getting injured, and it feels like every single year Giancarlo Stanton is getting hurt. And this year, this season, he looked so slow, and he looked like a completely I know his injury history has been bad, but this Giancarlo Stanton was something we've never seen before. He was jogging a lot around the bases because he's so worried about that hamstring injury, and us fans are worried too because when they first brought Stanton, we thought he was going to be an absolute nightmare, to other teams, but he's actually just been a nightmare to the New York Yankees because he can't stay healthy. But that's enough for that rant of Stanton. Still love him as a person, but as a player, he definitely has some concerns. And another thing about Juan Soto, we get back to Juan Soto, is about Yankee Stadium. And Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner finally have realized that this team needs better lefties. Willie Calhoun, Billy McKinney, not cutting it. So they go after Juan Soto, and this guy can rake. I mean rake at Yankee Stadium. And, using that short porch in right field could be a major boost. It's only 314 of the wall, so it's not like it's, super far. It's, sometimes lefties just hit a home run at Yankee Stadium. And then you look at, the baseball, you look at Twitter and stuff and you see those notifications like, oh, this home run was only in Yankee Stadium. Yankees should be taking advantage of that. You have an advantage. And we haven't addressed lefties in so long. You look at those great New York teams, lefty bats, switch hitters, amazing righties. Now we got to bring that back, and I think this might be the start. And that's getting Juan Soto. And I love this deal for the Yankees. And anyone who's saying he's a one-year rental is that's crazy to me, I think. I think this deal, Soto should be a Yankee practically for life now. I know he's under Scott Boras, which makes things difficult, but I mean, if you can get this guy long term, that would be amazing because it would be an absolute travesty if you can't get this guy long term and you gave up a lot of pitching, a really good bullpen arm, and yeah, you gave up a lot of pitching. I will admit that, and pitching depth is definitely something that will be a concern this year if you see a lot of, pitchers go on the IR. We saw it last year. Luis Severino injured a bunch. Nestor Cortez, you couldn't really get a good season out of him. Carlos Rodon, all these guys getting injured over and over and over again. And luckily you had guys like Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito, and, some other pitchers, but you don't have that. practically this deal is finalized, and now you have to really rely on your pitcher staying healthy, and that's something that definitely raises some eyebrows about a concern because his team has not been able to stay healthy. But we look at Juan Soto's stats at Yankee Stadium. He's hit 4 home runs in 7 games at Yankee Stadium. He's batted .261 with 6 hits, 9 RBIs, 6 runs scored in 7 games against the Yankees in his career. So yeah, he can rake. We know that. But, we look at the full trade. Yankees are receiving Juan Soto and Trent Grisham, so 2 outfielders, and they're giving up Michael King, Drew Thorpe, Kyle Gashioka, Johnny Brito, and Randy Vasquez. So, like I said, giving up a lot of pitching, so that's definitely going to be, a concern. And I'm glad they did the deal now. I don't like when I hear people say, oh, we should have waited a year. No, when you want to get good players, you have to get them now. You cannot wait because some other team is going to jump on it, and then you're going to regret yourself waiting. This team has already waited enough for good players. They, waited on Corey Seager, signed to the Rangers. Waited on Marcus Semien, went to the Rangers. Corey, Bryce Harper didn't even bother, giving him a conversation. Went to Philadelphia, but yeah, this deal definitely benefits both sides. I think the biggest player I see that, kind of really upsetting is Michael King, because this guy was really good for us last year. He gave you a lot of innings last year, played really well baseball, and now he could honestly potentially be a starter for the San Diego Padres. He did that a bit towards the end of the season with the Yankees, and I thought he looked really good. So, best of luck to all the players heading to San Diego. But hey, the Juan Soto train has officially arrived. Get into the Alex Verdugo trade now. You don't really see much Yankee Red Sox trades. And, they're getting Alex Verdugo. This is a guy that was rumored to the Yankees, and the Yankees will be sending Gleyber Torres. And I think Brian Cashman and his staff felt that's definitely not, equal value. They probably felt Gleyber Torres is far better than Alex Verdugo, but they still got him, and they didn't really give up much. Greg Weisreck and a few other, prospects, so they practically gave up nothing for a solid lefty bat. But, there were some concerns about last year about him being kind of a locker room problem, so hopefully that is not a problem this year, because that's the last thing the Yankees need right now is creating problems in the locker room, because I think this is a team that can go a far way if everybody stays healthy, of course. But, I think, playing at Yankee Stadium more could help Alex Verdugo, because, it's very easy to hit home runs. It's a very much home run friendly ballpark as well. And, another player that has been floating around the Yankees is Yoshimbu Yamamoto, Japanese pitcher. He is nasty. This guy is nasty stuff. He's got a good four seam. He's got a good splitter. He's got a great mix of pitches, and he's drawing a lot of interest. You've heard it with, the Mets in on him with Steve Cohen. So, you already know Steve Cohen's going to give him a good offer. Cohen already met with him in Japan. Now, coming Monday, he's going to be visiting with the New York Yankees. So that'll be cool to get, a conversation with him. And, he's signing, I believe, after Ohtani. And I think Ohtani is signing before the weekend, I believe that, but don't credit me on that. But, we don't know where Shohei Ohtani is going. I personally think he's either going to be a Dodger or a Blue Jay. And if he goes to the Blue Jays, then that just makes the AL East even better. And, that'll be quite a rivalry with Juan Soto going to the Yankees and Ohtani going to the Blue Jays. Or he goes, he goes to the West Coast, stays in the West Coast, and goes to the other LA team. And I think that would be kind of a punch to the stomach for the Angels, because I had Ohtani and now they're going to be versing him a lot. But yeah, Ohtani has had a good start to his, MLB career, and he's going to get a lot of money. I think if he didn't have, an injury because of pitching, I think he would get a lot more. But hey, I think a lot of teams are, well, I think the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, really. I think those are honestly the two teams that are probably going to get him. I think those two guys are going to put a good offer in, and it would honestly be nuts if the Dodgers got Ohtani. You would have a team of Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani. I mean, that alone is an amazing core three. And then you got guys like Will Smith, Walker Buehler, Bobby Miller, a bunch of guys. Will Smith, if I didn't mention him, really good team over there in LA, and they've always been really good. It's just been, getting to the World Series. But yeah, that's we're pretty much gonna wrap up this podcast. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. It seems to me that you guys really like the Yankee content, and I'm gonna keep posting that. Of course, next video we're gonna be posting a New York Giants mock draft number 2. So we'll see how that one goes. Of course, appreciate the love and support. Appreciate the comments, and of course, keep hitting that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.